Emily, how are you?
Yeah, good. I mean, it's April and it's sunny, and I'm in shorts and t-shirt in the north, and I didn't expect that.
I know, yeah.
Feels weird.
I didn't expect it. When I signed on the dotted line, I did not expect this.
When we booked in, we thought it'd be hats and woolly jumpers.
Did you pack them to come up
No,
here?
no, but when we first booked it in January, it was a
Oh, I never
with
thought
dead
it would be
cert.
outside. Literally. Thought it was going to be indoor centre. Done.
How's things going at the moment then? Obviously, nursing a hip injury. When's your comeback expected, do you think?
Bit frustrating, but has to be done. I guess it's part of sport. But 3-4 months, hopefully. Got surgery booked in a couple of weeks, so got to find ways to keep busy between now and then. But obviously frustrating moving to a new club and getting it. But hopefully I'll come back stronger for it. That's the old cliche, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But
So what actually is the injury?
do you know what? We don't actually know. It's my hip. I've had surgery on it before.
Right.
They're going in. And I'm not going to know until I wake up and come round from anaesthetic what they've done and what the outcome is, which is pretty hard. But it's got to be done. I was actually having a conversation with Mark Wood in the gym, and he said he had similar with his knee. And then we were talking. I don't know if you've seen the clip of him coming round from anaesthetic singing. He was like, "What are you like?" I was like, "I don't think I'm like you, Woody."
That is funny. That is funny. What brought you north then? Because previously, where were you playing previously?
Southern Vipers, so in Hampshire, so 336 miles away to be precise.
Wow.
Not that I've counted and done that drive many times, 6.5 hours. But I just I was at a point in my career that I'd worked with the same coaches, been at the same ground at Hampshire, and I absolutely loved it there. And it was a really tough decision, but when I spoke to Northie and Danny about coming up here, it just felt like it was a point in my game where I could try and kick on, get some fresh opinions, have a role here, that more of a senior role within the group. And just, I think for me, I was at a point where I just wanted something new. I think I got to a point where I was pretty stagnant, comfortable, so I wanted to put myself outside my comfort zone a bit, on the field and off the field as well, because I've moved away from all my friends and family, literally knew no one here. Like in terms of the team, my teammates as well, hadn't played with anyone. I played with Maddie Villiers a little bit at Oval Invincible, so she moved up, but yeah, literally knew no one. So it's been a challenge, but I don't regret it at all. It's honestly so great up here. The club's so supportive. Buying a house as well was pretty cool.
Nice.
Painting the walls for the first time. It's half price. It's a bonus from the south to the north.
Hey, we know that, don't we, Jim? Don't know, look who we are.
What would you say, and you cannot mention the weather, what is the biggest difference between living down south and living up north?
Do you know what? It's the people.
Right.
Like when people said to me, "Oh, everyone's so much more friendly up north," I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a cliche.
Yeah, and like when we played against like Northern Diamonds, I was like, "Friendly? They're not friendly." But I can remember one of my first days up here. I was paying for petrol, and I was at the checkout, and the lady was like, "Oh, like you got any nice plans this evening?" And I was like, it's a bit weird. Like, why are you asking me what I'm doing this evening? Because down south they're just like £40, please, and that's it. But yeah, everyone's so friendly, and I think it shows within the club, but like outside the club as well. And
How's the women's team looking in general then?
Good.
Yeah, you're looking strong.
Yeah, I think we've got a very good group of players, good squad. We're missing like a few of our players at the moment that are away with England A. So Holly Armitage, our captain, Maddie Villiers, and Bess Heath, who are 3 world-class players. And then you've got Lauren Filer as well, who is the fastest bowler in the world at the moment, who I faced in the nets not that long ago, and I hated every minute of it. So, I mean, if there's one bonus of being injured, I have to face Lauren Filer in the nets for a few months.
Can I ask one question? What is the fastest? She's the fastest women bowler at the moment. What sort of speed are we talking?
Well, she was bowling at me because you get the true print. What was it?
Truman.
Fast track.
Yes,
Full track. Get there in the end.
The AI technology.
So she was bowling as well. Don't want to mention it. Classic fast bowler thing in an indoor school. Was bowling off about 19 yards, and it was like 76 miles an hour.
Please.
So that, to me, honestly, the most embarrassing thing, I faced up to the first delivery, and the ball hit like the back of the thing before I even bit my mouth. Oh, this is pretty quick. But she is quite unique in that sense, I think. It's very rare that people bowl that quick. So I'm glad she's on our team. But she like hides the ball as well.
Yeah,
and then it's like.
Poof. Comes out.
I really hope that she takes poles for us.
Yeah.
If anything, she's definitely going to bring fear to the
Which
batters, which is good.
Yeah, you can't recreate that in anything really.
Yeah.
Can you?
But then the rest of the group, I'd say as well, pulling together really nicely. I'd say it's a very team environment here. Like everyone is playing for each other rather than like for themselves. So I've got high hopes we can do quite well.
Yeah. What are the aims for the team then? What the team
Win.
Win everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the aim.
Yeah, there's no point. I would never have come to the club if they were like, yeah, it's a new team, we're going to build. Like, we're going out there to win. We've pulled together a really good squad, and you want to win every game. And if you don't win, then you've given it your best shot. But we've definitely got the talent in our dressing room with the youngsters coming through as well that we can.
So obviously the vast majority of women's cricket is white ball cricket. So what kind of advice would you give to young girls who are growing up, getting into the game? You know, how should they be training and what should they be thinking about when they're trying to make it in cricket, really?
Do you know what? I think in the women's game, like when you coach young girls, it's very different to young boys. I think girls tend to have like a fear of getting out and like a fear of failure. Yeah. Whereas boys, you see them straight away, don't they?
Yeah,
they're not afraid to reverse, whack. So I think it's like being confident, taking the positive option. I'd say don't be afraid to fail, because if you're doing that, you're usually exploring something or trying something different. And I think the big motto that I say to a lot of girls is control the controllables. I think when it gets to games, people think about all the external stuff, and that's probably the same in the guys as well. But focus on now.
What do you think those are, the controllables? What would you say those are?
So like really small for me would be like if I'm playing a game, doesn't matter what's happened the previous ball, if I've hit a 6, if I've hit a 1, the next thing I can control is the next ball. Same in the field, same with the ball. And then like training, like work ethic that you put in training, that's down to you. That's down to you if you want the coaches to give you another session, whatever it is, like you're in control of that. The things that you can't control are like selections, what number you bat, like looking at too far ahead, like I want to play for England, whatever that is, like you can't control that. Focus on the job that's now and like break that down to be really small. What's the purpose of my net session today?
Awesome.
Would you say that's a big strength for yours?
I'd say when I was young, absolutely not. Like I'd got so focused on like the next step ahead, and then that was just impacting my performance, and I wasn't enjoying it as much. I can remember one season where I was terrible, but all I was thinking about was all the other stuff and not the game and playing what I love. And I think I try now and try and keep things really simple, have a clear head, enjoy time in the middle, playing with your mates. Like how lucky is it? Especially now, like I'm envious of the younger girls that are coming in, they're like 17, 18, signing their first professional contracts. I had to work when I was that age.
I was going to ask, how has it changed in terms of pathways and getting into the game?
Oh, it's massively different, like hugely different.
In such a positive way, though.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I was actually talking to some of the more senior players, like potentially we feel more grateful to be here, because I honestly had to pay for my kit, pay for training. We train like every other week. This was like back in it, we go to grounds that like were terrible, completely terrible, that you just couldn't perform. You didn't have an S&C coach, like all those things to where it is now. Like, and I wouldn't have believed it back then that I'd be a full-time professional cricketer. Like, I'm still pretty mad. So I just try and be grateful for that and enjoy every moment and take the opportunities because of it. But for the youngsters coming through, they're 17 years old trying to do their A-levels whilst training out here. Do you know what I mean? Playing games. Like, they're living the dream, aren't they?
Yeah, don't know how lucky they actually are. Really.
Got access to a gym. Do you know what I mean? Like, all those small things that they probably take for granted. I'm not saying they do, all of them do, but they've just always had that.
Yeah.
We didn't have that. Yeah. We didn't have a coach telling us what to do.
And I guess that goes hand in hand with the women's game improving so much.
Absolutely. And I think it's about putting a spotlight as well, isn't it? The 100's been absolutely massive for the game in this country. Yeah. And being part of that allowed girls to showcase the skills, showcase what we can do. And I think you're only going to see the game do this. Like I talk about Lauren Filer bowling quick. Yeah. Give it 4 or 5 years, there'll probably be a lot of people bowling that pace, and then you've got to be the next step on. So the game's only going to do that. And I also think Charlotte Edwards being appointed as England women's coach, that's going to drive the game like that, I think, in this country, and get us back on top, hopefully, in the world rather than just here. Yeah,
because the England women have struggled, haven't they? That's been well documented, and probably a change was needed. And then will that seep down from the top all the way down the levels? Yeah, definitely. And I think how Charlotte Edwards will go about things will probably be very different to how John Lewis did. I've been lucky enough to play with Lottie and had her as my head coach for 6-8 years now. So when she was appointed, like, I was absolutely chuffed for her. And I think like she's going to have different values. Like, she will value domestic cricket. She will make her England players play domestic cricket, which previously we haven't seen, because she values the structure. And I think in doing that, that will allow Lottie to identify players that are ready to play international cricket, because if they're scoring runs against the likes of Lauren Filer, like all our top bowlers, Lauren Bell, then you know they're ready to kick on. But also will allow Lottie to put people in form and
select her best 11. So
where was the focus before then? If it wasn't in domestic cricket, or was it kind of just?
They basically had their, I guess, cohort of people that they picked from, and they all trained hard and worked hard. I know quite a lot of those girls, so I don't think they didn't, but they just would play their international series, obviously the franchise stuff. But I just think, like, it was unfortunate. Like the Ashes, I don't necessarily think genuinely reflects where we are. Yeah. I just think they need new messaging, a fresh message, and hopefully that will change it, because they are a talented group of girls, just potentially haven't had the best, we haven't seen the best of them collectively. Yeah. So hopefully that will change.
Nice. Have you got ambitions for playing for England?
I mean, you can't say no, but I also am quite realistic. Like, I just want to churn out some runs here for Durham, and then what will be. But I think with my age, I'm at the top end now. I'm 27. Everyone keeps telling me I'm
27.
27.
Everyone keeps telling me I'm young, but I don't feel it. I'm about to have hip surgery. I feel like a 90-year-old lady at the moment. But my ambition is just to be the best I can be, and wherever that takes me, then
it's a good attitude to have.
If you win games of cricket consistently for Durham, if you pile on runs, then the next level's not going to ignore you, but you've got to do that first.
Great.
Awesome.
So you've got rehab and then straight back into it.
Yeah.
Some commentary as well.
Hopefully, I would love to aim for the end of July. And then obviously got the 100, so I got retained at Welsh Fire, so I really want to be back playing there if I can.
Was that an amazing experience?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So I've played in it every year, won it with Oval.
Nice.
And then been at Welsh Fire the last 2 years, but I love it down there. So to go back is great. We got a really good team again. So we were in final last year, came second. So we better go one better this year. And hopefully I'm fit for it. No pressure, physios.
You don't sound competitive at all, anyway.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to win everything.
Come to win.
I do have a funny...
Drove to the other end of the country to just win.
I have a funny... The girls take the mickey out of me because Danny sat us all down 1-to-1, Danny Hayes, our head coach, and was like, if people externally could look at Durham women, and what would you want them to think? One word. And everyone else was like, togetherness, all this stuff, and I just went, winners. And they literally absolutely rinsed me for it. And I was like, well, if you win, you have all the other stuff. And but that's just southern competitiveness in me.
I feel like we all play sport and, whatever level for the same reason. Winning is like, it's got to be the top thing that you're after. And then other things come in behind it, and you enjoy it. But come on, we're competitive people, aren't we? And that's what it's about, really.
Maybe I'm overly competitive, I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with
There's no such thing. Are you a really bad loser then?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Or do you just get over it?
I get over it reasonably quickly. I need like a bit of time.
It depends on how you've lost sometimes, doesn't it? Like sometimes it can be a real.
And like, I'd want to be better, if that makes sense. That would drive me to be like, okay, what haven't we done? What can we do next? But sometimes, you know what? The way cricket goes as well, you come across someone who has an unbelievable innings, and you're like,
one person can take it away.
One unbelievable spell with the ball, and that's what's unique with cricket, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Lovely.
Absolutely love it.
Thank you, Emily.
No worries, thank you. Cheers.
Pleasure. And I hope rehab goes well.
Thank you very much.
I'm keeping an eye.
No pressure.
I'll message you when you don't win, alright?
Every game
I'll be like, how are you feeling?
I'll be devastated.